Hello everyone, today I'm back with this beautiful new stamp sheet from artjourney. It's a special one. It's dedicated to Jeanette. Jeanette has passed away this year after being ill for a long time. She was very strong, but she lost the battle in the end. €1 of the proceedings of this stamp sheet goes to cancer research here in Holland, so that's a good thing, I think. But it's a beautiful stamp set. It goes about traveling and following your journey and having people around to join that journey with you, and that's what happened during the whole process of the illness of Jeanette. She was one of the design team members. Well, enough about that. I am using one of the papers out of a little booklet that I made. This is jelly prints, and we did some transfer techniques as well, but I haven't done anything with those prints, so I thought just work with that one today. She was a colorful person, loved color purple, and I think she would have loved this very colorful and busy background that I'm creating. Just using some stencils from the Crafters Workshop, the ones that I like a lot because they are small and easy to use. And I'm just random putting Delusions paint on my page, just here and there, some purple, some white, and some I think it's grey. No, I don't know what it is. It's just a nice reddish pinkish color that I'm using. Going over it with white just a little bit to tone it down. And then of course my number stencil, just using black ink for this one. Don't know why, I think I couldn't find my Delusions black that quickly. I think that's the main reason. I do like the black, it stands out, makes everything more beautiful if you add black. Now, of course, black edge as well, and this was just because I was thinking about what to do, because normally I do a black edge on the end of the project, but this was my thinking process going on, and I thought I would use neon colors. For the challenge that I'm in, we had to make a card in neon colors as well, so I had still had them lying around. So I just chose bright yellow and a pink one later, and just randomly putting that on with my finger. It's transparent color, so it doesn't cover up the colors underneath, and I like that. Now, just a bit of stamping with those stamps and a bit of masking, of course. So I stamped the first stamp. Those are the boots, because they walked a lot, they hiked a lot, so I thought it was appropriate to use that. And so that is the stamp that needs to be in the front, so you stamp that one first, and then you mask it with a piece of masking paper, and then you stamp the rest. So I chose those suitcases, and then I masked or covered up pieces of that stamp to be able to stamp one of those suitcases at a time. So, and that's what I did with all of them, and then you can create a nice scenery. Then I go over it with my paints, the same colors that I use on the background, so just the Delusions paints and that acrylic yellow color, and I'm blending it with my finger to be able to smudge it just a little bit, because I don't want it to be opaque. And in the end you see that I'm using a marker to go over the lines again, because some of them got covered up by the paint. I'm just like a bit of a vintage, bit of a dirty kind of paint job. I thought it was looking fine with the background. It's busy as well, so I'm just trying to keep this less busy to make it stand out from the background. Otherwise it will just blend in and you won't see a thing. Now doing that with the large suitcase there, and then I'm almost done with that. Just a little touch up here and there, create a little bit of shading with the colors. Nothing much, there's nothing special, just do whatever you feel like doing color wise. I'm using a very fine tipped brush to go into those little areas of the suitcases, the handles and the closures. Now just positioning it on the card, and then I am just framing out where I want that one to go, because it needed a bit of white in the back to make it stand out a bit more. It just fades away. So I'm just tracing it with my pencil, so I know where the white has to go. You can see that here. Just a bit of dilutions, random, around where I traced the suitcases. And then you can create a very nice background and not cover up too much. I left a lot of this in because I get questions on the process of painting and my way of thinking, but you can see I don't think, I just put my finger in the paint and just do it. I loved those numbers, so I'm using a big pit pen, brush pen, a Faber-Castell black pen, that's it. So I'm using that one to trace the numbers again because I like them a lot. And then I was not sure about the placement still, but I went with it just because I was already this far with my white, and but still I'm not that keen on how I did it in the end. You'll see that. But then again, that really doesn't matter. You can't do anything wrong when you journal or when you art journal or do mixed media. Everything goes. Using my glue stick to glue the paper down, pressing it well, as you can see. Now and then you can see it is not that pretty enough in my case, in my eyes. So I'm just going in with the yellow again. It was way too white and it covered up a lot of that pretty color on the back. So just going in with my fingers, I had just a little bit paint left on that nice piece of white paper there. So I'm just going over it, and it starts to come together. And as I said, I left it in because this is the real process. Just trial and error. So going in with that beautiful neon pink and just touching the paper with my finger and blending and thinking, yeah, do like it, no, don't like it, and then just go over it again. So nothing specific, needed a little bit more pink on those suitcases, and you can see it gets better. And a little yellow again. And you can see all the lines of the suitcases have disappeared, so I really need to touch that up later. I'm going in with a little black because it was just a white and yellow spot there, so I just break it down just a little bit by using a black through a stencil. It's a busy one for me, isn't it? So I love the sayings on those on the stamp sheet, so I'm using that one because she was one of the first persons that introduced me into art journaling and using stamps, because before that I haven't used stamps, well, I would say ever, but not a lot anyway. So she was one of the first persons, so that's why I'm thanking her for being there in the beginning. I placed it in the middle. I would normally not do that, but hey, thinking out of the box, so doing it anyway. I glued them down and then I go over. This is a larger marker for the large parts on the suitcases, and I used the stamps as a reference if I couldn't see the lines anymore. Now I wanted those boots to stand out more, so I stamped it on a piece of paper and glued it down, and I used a white marker to highlight the laces and some other parts of the boots. Now I'm using ground espresso from Distress Ink to go over it and make the bottom part of my page darker. So you can see that the suitcases are on the floor, Well, that's basically what I'm doing now. It's not much. I think I'm almost done. It's not quite a card that I would normally make, but I think it's a good card for the person that I made it. Just a bright and a colorful card. So just using that pen to mark the small parts, and then, as I said, go in with a white marker just to highlight here and there. And you can see that I'm using the stamps as a reference where the highlights need to go, and that helps a lot. And it makes the suitcases stand out just a little bit more. I could easily use black or dark color in the back of the card, in the background, to make the suitcases stand out even more, but I didn't do that. I liked it as is. But if you want that, you can just go around the suitcases with a black pencil, charcoal, whatever you like, and then smudge it a little bit to create some shading. But hey, maybe another time I will do that, but in this case I didn't. I didn't even think about it. It's just now I'm watching it, I could have done that. So I'm almost done, everyone. I want to say thank you for watching. Go over to ArtJourney's website to buy this stamp sheet. She does deliver overseas as well, and it's for a good cause. So thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for sharing. Well, thank you for everything. Just a black line as you are used to see of me, and I will say bye bye everyone until the next one. Oh, I forgot, I'm just placing it in my little booklet because I'm going to do more in this booklet and just finish it because it's a nice size. Now it's done, now in the booklet, and now I'm done, and I'm going to say bye bye everyone until the next phase.